As you can see, this property is a perfect example. What the hell?
Off they go, bags in tow. Matt and Chrissy hit the road. Maps unfold, stories told. Adventures never getting old. Matt and Chrissy roam so free through the city, past the sea.
Hi, Christine from Couple of Sitters. Welcome to episode 4 of the Milltown Historic Tour in Bathurst. Let's go and see what's up next. Hi guys, I'm standing outside the front of 169 Havannah Street. This is the former residence of Francis Crago, who built this home in 1883. Francis Crago was a prominent figure in the community. He was a mill owner and later became the mayor between 1878 and 1879. This was a large residence which had a tennis court and a cottage for the groundskeeper. This land has since been subdivided and turned into residential apartments and townhouses. This is a perfect example of Victorian architecture with its beautiful red brick. It is currently a historic listed building in Bathurst. I'm standing outside of 26 Bathurst Street, which is the Milltown General Store. This property was bought by Henry Moore in 1885 and became the general store downstairs, and the Moore family resided upstairs. The general store was a very central part of the Milltown historic area. The store sold many things, including groceries, clothing and hardware. As you can see from the architecture, it is a Victorian building. This property has changed hands many times over the years. In the 1900s, it was a boarding house for school children at the school down the road. In 1950s, it was a furniture store, and in the 1970s, it was a hairdressing salon. Today, this property is a private residence.
G'day, it's Matt from Couple of Sitters here, and I'm jumping in to cover this section of the segment. Chrissy's been working very hard, and I thought I'll get in front of the camera for a little while to give her a bit of a break. Not much of a break because we're standing out here in the blazing sun and she's not in the shade. Hi, babe. So we are outside of the old Milltown School, which was built in 1879, and it was later renamed in 1908 to Bathurst South Primary School, or Bathurst South School, to reflect the area that it was in. It served the community for over 140 years. It was largely constructed because the demand in the area required a school because of the amount of families that were coming in and the families that were growing up in and around Milltown at the time, and then later renamed as South Bathurst. This has recently sold, so like a lot of the other properties in the area that are now private residences or other businesses have moved into them, it is not immune to time and progression and things changing hands. Hopefully, due to the historic nature of the property, this is one that's not going to lose the historic value that some of the other ones that we've seen in the Milltown area have over time, where, for example, the cemetery completely obliterated and disappeared, and there's not even any signage in the area to alert you to the fact that this was once a part of the Milltown history in this area. So here's hoping that the sale of the school to someone is going to result in its preservation and remaining a part of the South Bathurst history. Let's head over to the next site. Okay, we are just down the road from where we were at the school, and this is St. Barnabas. I think I'm saying that right. Yep, St. Barnabas Chapel. This was built in 1875, and it was originally an old timber structure that was then, in 1881, converted or built as what we can see now with the red brick structure. The spire that you can see behind me, that was added to the church in 1901, which a lot of things happened in Australia in 1901. It was the Federation, when Australia became the country that it was, a combination of colonies. And a lot of other really important things happened for Australia at that point in time too. The first Prime Minister was elected, Edmund Barton, and the church got a spire, so that was pretty big for this community. And in 1896, the church was consecrated by Bishop Cambridge, who applauded the church for how humble and modest it looked. So around the back of the church here, and we believe that this is where the lead light window was installed that was put in commemoration of the Japanese prisoners of war in 1946. Two of the prisoners of war that this was put up in commemoration of were involved with the erection of the church.